Essays on Untouchables and Untouchability Social by Babasaheb Ambedkar. Chapter 3, Part 1. Hindu society is a house of castes. Hindus are not a people. They are the aggregates of groups of people formed into castes. This is its peculiarity. This is what has struck the stream of foreigners who have visited India in the course of history. Notwithstanding this, there are, however, people who endeavor to say that there is nothing peculiar about caste. For instance, Professor Baines remarks, there is little in the system which is not to be found, or which has not at some time or other existed in other countries, even of the West, though it has there been long ago worn away by other influences. The crystallization of certain bodies into definite orders of classes, for instance, is a common, almost a universal trait, and among them the tendency to become hereditary and as exclusive or aspiring as circumstances allow may almost be called natural. The argument may be strengthened by reference to the social organization of primitive peoples. In primitive society, man is never found alone. The commonest and therefore the most natural condition of man are to live in groups. The social grouping has taken many forms in the course of history. The family is one such social group which is universal and which has survived. The group larger than the immediate family was the clan. In its lowest terms, the clans, which was also called kin, sept, or sib, was supposed to be a group of individuals related to one another either through the mother or through the father. Far distant cousins may be considered in the relationship and were regarded as members of the group. Again, the relationship may be purely fictitious, but from the point of view of this, was as real a bond as that made by common blood. The next larger division than the clan is a social grouping of the clans. When the clans are organized into two groups, each group is called a moiety. When it is organized in more than two, it is called a phratry. This dual system was not by any means worldwide in its distribution, and the functions which the phratry or the moiety was intended to perform are not quite definitely known. But there is no doubt that each moiety and phratry was a social grouping in which there was a feeling of brotherhood between the members of clans associated together. The tribal groups come next. There were wide differences in the nature, character, and structure of tribes. Tribes may be made up of village communities with no divisions into clans or moieties. They may have clans and no moieties, or moieties and no clans, or they may have both moieties and clans. Tribal consciousness was sometimes strong or sometimes weak. Although in the formation of tribal groups there was a definite rule, nor a single line of evolution, there were certain common features present, namely a common dialect, common customs, a more or less definite territory, and some form of government to which the whole tribe was present. Larger than the tribe was the confederacy or the union of tribes, but this was very uncommon. A loose and informal alliance to meet some specific danger may bring about a union of tribes. It is very seldom that a definite compact is found amongst the people who are termed primitive. The famous Iroquois Confederacy is one of the exceptions. The end.